Hello and welcome to SOCO 14, the show about what's happening on and around the Southern's campus. I'm Aisha Jackson.
And I'm Tyler Ferrara. Politics is always a hot topic, maybe never hotter than today. We'll take a look at a recent debate on campus.
Ever wonder what happens to the food that you don't finish eating at Southern? A lot of it used to go to waste until students stepped in.
We look into how a fashion show is helping students feel confident and showcase their talent, plus a look at what it means to be Jewish on campus and how spring weekend comes together.
But we begin with college Republicans and Democrats sitting down to talk politics in front of an audience.
Our very own Quinn O'Neill covered this important event. Here he is to tell us a little about it. Good afternoon, Quinn.
Thanks, guys. Many people say that all college students think the same way, but that's just a myth. College Republicans and Democrats show the divide politically at Southern and had a debate to talk about Donald Trump's first 100 days as president.
What is the standard by which we can bring an administration that is so unfair? But probably a date.
College Republicans and Democrats sat in front of an eager crowd to deliver their thoughts on Donald Trump. On April 26th, the two college political parties spent an hour debating the president's first 100 days in office. Sophomore debate participant Hope Finch said it's good to have constructive debate like this on campus.
I think it's really important. I think it's something that we don't do a lot, and I think it's especially helpful because as things are increasingly partisan today, you need a space where those ideas can conflict. I think that's how you come up with better policy. I think that's how you get to understand people better. So I think it's something that we need to do more of, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity today.
Have 1,000 troops on the ground in Syria, but it's an easy out. Let's bomb it from the
Finch
top.
said that although the Republicans and Democrats are friends, they still oppose each other on many political topics.
I think we try really, really hard, especially when eyes are on you to maintain that sense of civility. It is challenging because we have very different opinions on where we think the country should go and how we think the administration is performing.
All of the events featuring the two groups have always gone well, said junior and debater Ty Seymour.
We've had probably just under a dozen events in the past, and they've always been civil. And I mean, we have friendships with each other. We go to each other's meetings. So it's definitely not something that you would expect out of a college campus, but it's just, I guess, a phenomenon here that happens, and it's a good thing. And I'm glad that's the way it is.
That you had mentioned because I had mentioned it. I mean, I definitely think that we do need to pivot.
Seymour said he believes this college debate style will gain popularity thanks to the U.S. administration today.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see both sides doing it more often, especially I think that this election there was so much media and there's so much attention on it because they weren't that popular candidates that engaged a lot of people and mobilized a lot of people to get engaged and want to be involved.
Advisor for both the college Republicans and Democrats, Dr. Jonathan Morton loves helping his students get involved on campus. I sat down with him and talked about his involvement in putting this whole debate together.
Oddly, it was interesting. It was their idea. This is all organic. I never thought of it. If anything, I hate admitting this. I was going against it. I said we shouldn't even have a talk like this because my fear was that it would be combative and dramatic and crazy. Well, actually it wasn't. I was a little bit surprised. I don't know why I say that, but I guess I expected it to be a little bit more rowdy, and it really wasn't.
With such an active time we live in politically, Wharton said he wishes more students would get involved on campus.
My hope is that they can help, because of an event like this and others in the future, by recruiting more students. My hope is that by having more students showing up to the meetings, then we can have more students showing up to the events. And I think that's what has to happen. We have to bring that back, and I think that's one why they did this as an event.
Wharton said although these groups can have heated debate, they still maintain composure because they treat each other fairly.
There might be disagreement, but inevitably, there's respect, there's civility. And I think that that's exactly what your colleagues want from our lawmakers. If they can do this on campus, why can't we do this elsewhere too?
Okay. Thanks, Todd.
Now, even though these Southern students are at different ends of the political spectrum, they still agree on a couple of things. They're happy to have constructive debate, and Dr. Wharton is the best advisor. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Quinn. According to the latest numbers, there were over 500 deaths due to opioid overdoses in Connecticut here at Southern. Counseling services offered students, faculty, and staff members the ability to seek help with their own addiction or advice on to assist those close to them with help. Sarah Kaiser says that the center sees students who are victims of opioid addiction many times are not addicted to heroin, but prescription drugs.
It's either the student who needs help for themselves or it's a student who has a family member that, is like, where do I go? How do I help this person? So a lot of times if it's not the person themselves, the student needing treatment, I'll help connect them with services in the community for their family member. We have support groups for family members of people with addiction.
According to Kaiser, the university has done many events to recent years to educate the campus on the dangers of opioid addiction. Counseling services are located in Engelman Hall. Students who need help for themselves or a family member are encouraged to stop by.
Also on campus, Southern students have been speaking out against violence, racism, and sexism. For the past 64 days, Megan McAdams has the story.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, rape culture has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, rape culture has got to go.
On April 13th, SCSU students marched in a slut walk on campus, carrying signs and chanting things like "My little black dress does not mean yes," to raise awareness about slut shaming and victim blaming.
So somebody from my class had come from UConn, and she had the idea of let's do something like the slut walk. She joined one there at UConn and loved it and brought it here. So as a group, we started the planning for the project in the fall.
This was part of a string of events that SCSU puts on called 64 Days of Nonviolence. The 64 comes from January 30th, the Memorial Day for Mahatma Gandhi, and April 4th, the day Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated.
These two figures are arguably the most important nonviolence peace activists of the 20th century.
Some events include guest speakers like Alex Wilson, who spoke about Two-Spirit and queer indigenous feminism. Then there are events like the Slut Walk, where students rally against rape culture, and Take Back the Night, where students are welcome to share their experiences and shatter the silence about violence against women.
My colleagues started the celebrating and the commemorating of 64 Days of Nonviolence, and when I got here, I said to myself, my goodness, this is such a fabulous program. So we get to celebrate different peace heritages in our communities. So it doesn't have to be, Black history, women's history, or Asian Pacific, heritage. It can be everybody.
Reporting from New Haven, I'm Megan McAdams.
Southern's dining halls used to waste a lot of food until students decided it was time to do something about it.
Courtney Luciana is here to tell us why SCSU's new food recovery project is changing lives every week.
Thanks, guys. Students who are a part of the SCSU Sustainability Office started working with Chartwell's originally to reduce waste on campus, but in the process have also given the hungry much more to eat.
Fighting food waste is not a new problem Southern has faced. Cody Edson, a member of the Sustainability Office, takes leftovers and still edible products from the dining halls on campus. Every morning, he weighs and records the amount of food he will be donating to local New Haven soup kitchens. At night, Cody works with 3 other students from the Sustainability Club. Altogether, they are known as the Food Recovery Project, where they work with Chartwells to package the food they will be delivering in the morning with a van provided by Southern. The Food Recovery Project mostly contributes just up the street to St. Anne's, located on 930 Dixwell Avenue. Cody and his team were hired as a program by Chartwells last spring. Last year in total, the program recovered over 4,000 pounds of food. This fall alone, an average of 3,500 pounds was recovered, and last year's total was being less than 16 weeks this spring with 4,500 pounds.
So when we started donating to them, they were very happy because we were bringing nutritious food that we were throwing out originally from Con Hall. So not only can they feed more people, but they can offer more people bigger portions, because a lot of the people that utilize the soup kitchen services may be only eating 1 meal a day.
And it's helping, and we have so much more. Right now we have so much more food that people are getting to eat a lot and take even home.
So this was a great opportunity for both of us to to find a home for the food that was left over. We create a system, with some ideas from the students involved, and us, with the experience that we have in our end. Chartwells have their own ways, to help and to develop procedures on how to accomplish. The best part has been from the student part of it, because they put their time and their effort, to make this a success.
Cody Edson and his team want this to become a staple in the university and would like for more students to get involved in future sustainability projects on campus, involving the community garden behind Davis Hall. Make sure to stop by the office for more information.
Courtney, thank you. It turns out a lot of people on campus have not been identifying with their Jewish heritage. At Southern, only some students have come forward about wanting to promote Jewish events around school. There was interest for a Hillel years ago, but recently things have subsided.
There aren't social programs. Like, I don't know that we had any sort of Passover Seder this year on campus. I don't know that we had a Hanukkah party back in December.
Other religious groups seem to be more identified on campus, but for SCSU's Jewish population, that is not the case.
The LGBT Prism held its 11th annual Drag Ball on April 17th in the Michael J. Adante Student Center Ballroom. The Drag Ball is an opportunity to bring together drag culture from all around the area.
And it's kind of a showcase of local talents from the New Haven area, kind of bringing this the idea of drag culture to a more widespread populace that wouldn't traditionally get this kind of performance in their typical day-to-day life.
The National Association of Hispanic Nurses was also involved in the event as they spread awareness for safe sex by providing both male and female condoms, along with much more.
Southern Spring Break brought A Boogie for a concert on the quad and a carnival in Lot 3. Our very own DJ Johnson spoke with Procon, who helped to host these events, and determined just how these groups come to plan the event.
If you happen to miss it, Lot 3 this past week was transformed by carnival rides and activities. Procon helped to make this year's Student Appreciation Day a bit more unique than students were used to. We spoke with Procon Commissioner Emily Caffrey to explain how it all happened.
We've wanted to make Student Appreciation Day a bigger event. We have had an interest of bringing carnival rides here. One of the e-board members, her family actually is the one that we got the rides from, so it was much easier because we knew the people we were working with.
And outside of this year's Student Appreciation Day, Procon works all semester long getting students more involved with campus events and activities.
Procon stands for Programs Council. We're the student activity board on campus. We just basically put on mostly all free events on campus for both residents and commuters.
The lot has returned to normal, but students on that day took full advantage of all the events and activities that were on campus. Resident Chris Haith was there to tell us all about the things that he was getting ready to do.
So I'm being forced to get on the swinger thing here, but other than that, I came for the ice cream, pizza, hey, social life, so yeah.
Another student came away with a peculiar new backpack from a balloon artist. Joe Pacific was there to help explain exactly what it was.
This balloon guy over here gave me this balloon jetpack, but it broke halfway through, so I gotta hold on for dear life. I did the slide and I did not brake well, and I got some scraped up hands, but it's all part of the day.
And what a day it was. With free food, games, rides, and prizes, Procon turned our parking lot from a place to park to a place to play. I'm DJ Johnson, reporting from New Haven.
A recent campus fashion show was about more than just the clothes. The show is about models looking and feeling good. Zach Bouillet takes us backstage.
Makeup, shoes, struck a pose. It's more than just the appearance. It's about what's in the inside that counts. I talked to a few face models about what face has been doing for them.
FACE, which stands for Fashionable, Artistic, Creative Elegance. FACE to me gives students at SCSU the opportunity to express themselves in when it comes to fashion, being creative and elegant. And it also gives us a platform it gives designers platforms also to show their pieces.
To me, it's a confidence booster. I came in last semester with no experience and I didn't know what I was doing, but I felt like I needed something I could get excited to go to, so I tried it out.
Just before the start of the show, I had the chance to go backstage and talk to the organization's president.
Been working on this for a while, haven't you?
Yes, it's been 3 months since school started, since the semester started. We've been practicing for this entire show. So debut today, April 8th.
As you can see, it takes confidence to start the post. I'm Zach Bollier, reporting.
Wow, that looked like a great show. Speaking of fashion, look at you. Trouts are out today, Tyler.
Well, thank you.
Well, Thanks for joining us for another edition of SOCO 14.
We'll see you next time with all the news from Southern's campus.